The art of listening. To listen is more than hearing. It is an act of presence, a surrender to the moment, a willingness to notice the details others let slip by. Every sound, every silence, is a doorway into thought, memory, and feeling. When we truly listen, the world unfolds in layers, revealing textures and rhythms we often overlook. Listening becomes a form of awareness, a bridge between inner and outer worlds. Life itself has a music, if we pause long enough to attend. Footsteps on a wet street, wind threading through trees, a distant conversation fading into dusk. Each is a note, part of a composition that is at once chaotic and precise. To listen is to engage fully with the now, to inhabit a space where time stretches and perception deepens. In that stillness, we begin to understand that meaning is not always found in what is said, but in what is withheld, in the spaces between words, the pauses, the subtle shifts, the quiet harmonies that connect one moment to the next. Philosophers have long argued that attention is a form of care. Kierkegaard said, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." Listening allows us to inhabit both, to sense the echoes of what has passed, while remaining alert to what is emerging. It is a gentle discipline, a practice of patience and openness, requiring us to quiet our own noise long enough to hear the truth in another's voice, or even in our own. To listen deeply is to acknowledge the reality of others, to say without words, "You matter enough to be heard." In this way, listening becomes an act of empathy. It draws us closer, not only to people, but to the pulse of the world itself. The hum of a city, the laughter of a child, the rhythm of rain against glass, all remind us that existence is alive with conversation, even when no one speaks. When we learn to listen to the world, we begin to recognize the dialogue happening all around us, a dialogue that invites participation rather than dominance. To listen deeply is to be transformed. It changes the way we move through the world, the way we respond to others, the way we inhabit our own minds. In each moment, sound becomes a teacher, reminding us that life is layered, subtle and alive, that understanding is less about control and more about attention, that even the smallest detail can illuminate the vastness of existence. And so, to listen is to live fully, to attune oneself to rhythm, silence, and nuance, is to embrace the richness of experience, to discover the extraordinary in the ordinary, and to recognize that the world, in all its complexity, is always speaking. We need only to learn to hear. And in doing so, we find not just sound, but meaning, an invitation to belong more deeply to the present and to one another.